Hello, and welcome back to Flattr for Designers. My name is Sai, and in this section of the course, we'll be building the rest of our sidebar screen. In the last section, we built the sidebar row, and we learned how to make customizable properties like the text style, the color of the icon, and its background. Now, this text style isn't really respective of the iOS design guidelines. Luckily, we did import the SF Pro text font, and we'll use that right now. In the constants.dart folder we imported a while back, you can see that all the colors we'll be using are defined as well as the text styles, and some of them indeed do use SF Pro text. Let me close this file, and now in the sidebar row.dart file, I'm going to delete the text style and type k callout label style, and add a comma and press save. And you can see that the simulator updates to reflect our changes. Now let's get on with building the rest of the sidebar screen. I'll close this file and go to main.dart. Now, what I want to do is extract the center widget and everything inside of it. That way, if I want to manipulate the sidebar screen later on, it's easier to change the code. I'll select Flutter Outline from the pane to the right. I'll control-click on Center, and I'll select Extract Widget. Let's name this new widget Sidebar Screen, and I'll hit Refactor. Let's delete this initialization and press Save. Everything should be the same. Now let's take a look at our Figma design. As you can see, the sidebar has a bunch of widgets that are mostly laid out vertically. We'll be using the column widget for this. We can also see that everything is housed within a container where the top right corner radius is the only corner curved. Let's see how to implement this in Flutter. I'll replace center with container. I'll press enter and type decoration. As we did when creating the sidebar row, decoration helps with customizing the container. I'll type box decoration, add a set of parentheses, and first add the property color. For this, I'll use K sidebar background color. I'll also add border radius. It'll only be applied to the top right corner, so I'll type border radius dot only. In the set of parentheses, I'll type top right and add a radius of value 34 pixels. Let me add a comma and press save. Now, you can see that there is a color change, however everything is hidden behind our notch. Let's fix this. I'll add a height of media query.of_context.size.height. This will take the height of the entire device. I'll also do the same for width. However, I don't want my sidebar to take up the whole width of the device. Rather, I wanted to cover it partially, so I'll multiply it by 0.85 and press save. You can see our sidebar beginning to take shape. Now let's add some padding to the elements inside of our sidebar, since I don't like how this is being so close to the edge of the screen. I'll press enter and type padding. For padding, I'll type edge insets dot, and you can see that we have a lot of options. We have only, where we can customize the padding of every individual size, but what I want is the vertical padding and the horizontal padding to be the same, so I'll select symmetric. For vertical padding, I'll use a value of 35 pixels, and for horizontal padding, I'll use a value of 20 pixels. There, that's much better. Now, what I want to do is vertically align some of the widgets we have. We can do this with the column widget. I'll put my cursor over sidebar row, select option and return, and in the menu that shows up, I'll select wrap with column. And you can see that just like row, column takes multiple children. Let's start by making the first children a circle avatar. A circle avatar is great if you want to display images like a profile. For background image, I'll use asset image and provide a path. I'll type asset images and profile.jpg. I'll press save, And what I want to do is change the size a bit. So I'll type radius and select 21 pixels. Now to add my name next to my profile picture, I'll put my cursor over circle avatar, select option and return, and select wrap with row. Beneath circle avatar, I'll type text and provide a value with my name. For the style, I'll be using K headline label style, and I'll select save. Now let's add the text below my name, which displays when my license ends. To do this, I'll put my cursor over text, select option return once more, and select wrap with column. Now underneath text, I'll press enter and provide text again. This time I'll provide a default value of license ends on 21st January 2021. And this time, for style, I'll be using K search placeholder style, and I'll press save. Now, I don't like how close all of these elements are together. So let's start by adding some padding. I can do this by first typing sized box height and providing a value of 4 in between these two text widgets. There, that's much better. Now to add some spacing between the circle avatar and this column of text widgets, I'll go in between circle avatar and column and provide the same sized box, but this time I'll provide a width with a value of 15. And last but not least, I want these two text widgets to be on the leading side of the column. This can be done by, after column, pressing enter and typing cross-axis alignment dot start. And now press save. Our sidebar screen is beginning to take shape. Let's add some padding in between these two widgets. I want to add some padding in between this row widget and the sidebar row widget. However, I can see that my text is getting a bit too long. So I'm going to put my cursor over row and select Command- on my keyboard. This will nest my code neatly, and that way it becomes more readable for me to edit my code. I'll press enter after row and type sized box, this time providing a height of media query of context size height into 0.08. Let's add a comma, and there you go. Now, taking a look at our Figma design, we can see that we have 4 sidebar items, and each one has a spacing of about 32 pixels. So let's do this. After sidebar row, I'm going to press enter and type sized box, height, and provide a value of 32 pixels. Now I'm going to select everything from this comma all the way to sidebar row and press Command D 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'll press save, and you can see that 4 instances of the same sidebar row have been created. Let's change the indices on them. 0, 1, and 2. That's great. Last but not least, what I want to do is add the logout button to the end. I'm going to use the widget spacer, so everything below the settings sidebar row will get pushed all the way to the bottom. Now, I'll type the following: row, children, image.asset, asset, icons, icon, logout.png. And let's give it a width of 17 pixels. Let me add a comma at the end and press save. There. Let me add a text widget and provide the value logout. Let's give it a style of K secondary callout label style and press save. It's a little too close, but by now I'm sure you know how to add some padding. In between image.asset and the text widget, I'm going to press enter and type sized box with 12 pixels. Let's add a comma, and there we go. Our sidebar screen is mostly complete. I don't like how close our widgets are to the notch and the home indicator. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll scroll back up, back to where we have the column widget first declared. On my keyboard, I'll press Option and Return, and I'll select Wrap with Widget. Now I'll type Safe Area. Safe Area is a really neat widget, which wraps all the content in a safe area zone such that it doesn't interfere with the notch or the home indicator. This is great. However, let's remove our sidebar screen widget and place it in a file of its own. I'll select the entire sidebar screen class, cut it, and then selecting lib, I'll press Command N, new, Dart file, and I'll select screens/sidebar_screen. And then now let me paste all the code. We need to import the material library first, so we can remove some of the squiggly lines over there. Next, let's hover over K sidebar background color, and let's select the import library constants, and it'll be added. We're also missing the sidebar row, so doing the same will give us the same results. Great. Now going back to main.dart, we'll need to import the sidebar screen widget that we put in our new file. And now if we press save, everything should be neat, but our code is refactored and looks a lot more simpler. Let's take a look at the Figma file. In the next section, we'll be building our very own course card like this. So for now, we don't need the sidebar screen until we create the sidebar button to animate it in. We'll get to this pretty soon, but for now, I'll replace sidebar screen with container and press save. I'll see you in the next section.